The reason why many people don't make a decision is because they're afraid of making the wrong one. I had a hard time making a decision, like multiple choice on the bar or any test in law school, like whatever. I was not good at it. I was so afraid of which one instead of just making a decision and moving. Many of the times we sit there worrying about, well, what will happen? And then we don't do anything about it. So we're sitting in this state of limbo, of uncertainty. But I'll tell you one thing, when you get good at making a decision, it's because you're listening to. Hello, and welcome to another episode of The Quantum Woman. I'm your host, Shamina Taylor. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about the power of making quick decisions and how you can get into a state of doing that. You're making a decision right now to listen to this. We're always making a decision. And it seems like, the self-development industry says, once you decide, everything changes. Once you make a decision, your life can change because you've decided. Well, what happens with decisions is certainty. Certainty comes from that, right? You've either made it a yes to go ahead, or you made it a no to not go ahead, or you made it a yes to not do anything, right? But a decision has been made. And the reason why many people don't make a decision is because they're afraid of making the wrong one. They're afraid if it's going to be the right one and all the consequences that come if they make a poor decision, right? So as you get more in tune with your intuition and with just being in a state of certainty, you start making decisions faster. And here's the thing, there's a lovely saying that there's no wrong decision unless it's a decision not made. You won't know the outcome of something until you decide, until you move. And many of the times we sit there worrying about, well, what will happen? And then we don't do anything about it. So we're sitting in this state of limbo, of uncertainty. And the thing is, you have to be willing to make the decision and live with the consequences afterwards. Now, I feel like not deciding is worse because you don't know the outcome. And this is where people are afraid to fail. They're afraid to do something wrong. They're afraid if they do make that leap, if they decide, well, what are the repercussions and the outcomes? And I tell you, I think that the one thing that I got really good at over the years is making a decision. I'll tell you, growing up and even into my before I was 40, before I had my awakening, I had a hard time making a decision, like multiple choice on the bar or any test in law school, like whatever. I was not good at it. I was so afraid of which one instead of just making a decision and moving because there was consequences, right, for that. But in life, sometimes I was afraid of, should I stay? Should I go? Should I eat this? Should I not? I mean, I've seen people have painstaking moments during like ordering at a restaurant because they're afraid if they don't get the right thing, they're going to be left with a meal that doesn't feel satisfying and it was a waste of money and how dare they? And, other people got something better than they did. Or what shoes to wear? Is it going to be cold out? Should you bring a jacket? Should I go out to this event? Should I stay? All of these things, there's repercussions, right? But I'll tell you one thing, when you get good at making a decision, it's because you're listening to your intuition. When your intuition is speaking to you, it's saying yes, no, yes, no. It's when we sit there and have to decide, we're really then negotiating with our intuition. We're negotiating with an answer that our human can get behind. So we've already got a split-second fast decision when something comes up. It's either a yes or a no, right? And I know there's a human design experts will say, well, there's sacred authority, this authority, yes, whatever. But if you look back at most of your decisions that you've done and you've made, and you had the answer right at the immediate moment, it was that you didn't listen to it and you didn't trust it because you weren't connected to your higher self or to that feminine energy, which I do call the quantum field, that knowing, that trusting, that allowing. It's like your human sat there and started strategically negotiating whether or not it was a good decision. So you went into your head and you got out of your heart, right? So I think that the more that you make decisions, the better that muscle becomes. So your decision-making muscle gets strengthened. So what I would say is if you are sitting there deciding between chocolate chip mint or chocolate, at an ice cream store, you should sit there and say, well, you know what? I'll go with the chocolate chip mint today and see if I like it. And if I don't, I'll try the chocolate next time. Or maybe I'll try both. Or maybe I'll go with one or the other. Or maybe I'll try something new. But until you make a decision, you won't get that one step further. You'll still be stuck in stalemate. You'll still be stuck in limbo. And many times investing in a program or investing in a mentor, People are sitting there thinking, will it work for me? Is this going to work? That's probably one of the biggest things that people contemplate. Is this for me? Is it going to work? Yet you know you should be in there. I do this too sometimes, but I get better at it. And the faster I say yes to something, it's because my intuition knows I need exactly that. It's exactly where I need to go. It's like driving down a road. Which lane should you take when there's traffic? Going to Costco, which lane should you take? Whatever happens is going to be okay. It's going to be okay. You just have to decide and move. But not deciding and staying stuck is the worst decision you could make ever. So next time you're up against something, should I do this? Should I do that? First, feel into what was the feeling. Like, was it a yes right away? And then see how long it takes your human to make that decision. The longer it takes your human to make the decision, you're probably not making the most aligned one. You're negotiating yourself out of the answer you already got in the beginning, but you just couldn't get behind because you were worried about the repercussions of what the result would be. Now, if you stop doing that, imagine how much faster you would make decisions. And let me tell you, powerful people make decisions very quickly. They're very, 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 very fast decision makers because they're okay with the outcome. They're going to be okay with whatever happens. They're going to be okay because they know that the faster they make a decision, the faster they get data, the faster they get a result. So the longer that you take to make a decision, you're wasting time because you could be somewhere new. And, when people say they've got to sit on it, what they're really doing is they're negotiating themselves out of the yes that they probably had or the no that was already there. They're sitting there going, well, I don't know if this is right or wrong because I don't know how I'm going to survive it. That's why when clients come to me and they want to work with me, I've had very few, because most of the women I work with, once they get on a call with me, these are yes women, right? They're like decision makers. When people have to go think about it, that to me is a red flag. That client's not for me because they couldn't make a fast decision, because powerful women make fast decisions. So where are you going to make a fast decision? Pick a lane, pick a lane to drive in, pick an outfit. Pick go pick a meal, say yes to a date, say yes to going somewhere, say no, whatever it is, start deciding, start making decisions more frequently. The more frequent you make them, the easier it gets, the more powerful you become, the more tapped into your intuition, the more tapped into your feminine you're going to be. And I'll give you something why women don't do this. So this is the thing. Many women are disassociated from their emotions. Yes, you can feel you have love, but you are not fully connected to your emotional state because you've grown up, and you'll see this is the theme of what I teach, being in the ice queen, right? Not being somebody who's connected deeply to how they feel, because how they feel is not something that they feel is a safe place to be, because either it's too vulnerable, they feel weak, or it's just not how they lead. They like to lead with a different power, what they think, how they look, how they present themselves, instead of coming from a place of an emotional power. And I'll tell you right now that because you've not tapped into that emotional state is why you don't make decisions that you can turn around and say, that was 100% great decision, made it fast. This is why you second guess so much. This is why you may be intuitive, but you don't listen to it all the time. And this is why you probably aren't getting to that next level yet in your business, because you have cut off that full emotional connection to yourself. And I'm not talking about feelings. Yes, you have some feelings, but many of the women that I work with, they are not deeply connected to self because they have not emotionally connected to their past, their present, and what's coming. And a lot of the times it's because something's stuck there preventing it. And that's why they have this emotional shield. And this is why they're not fully connected to their audience, their people. You could be married and have kids and still not be doing this because you're functioning in a survival rate, right? So think about how you make decisions. If it's painful and I don't think pain is a word, but if it's painful, or if you're, second guessing and, on certain things, think about why. Because there's something there on the lower surface that has nothing to do with that decision, but about why you're deciding or taking too long to decide. There's some things could be quick. Yep, I know. Yep, this is it for me. And then there's other things where you can't. And so think through this, right? But I want you to feel through it. Why can't you make that decision fast? I'll give you an example. Women who make a lot of money and they still can't go purchase, a Louis Vuitton or something of, a luxury that they do want, but they can't buy yet because they have not been able to make a decision that when they spend that money is going to come back. They'll feel like it's wasted. So they haven't decided. that they get to have and desire everything that they want because their decision making is off. Because they've decided that it's not going to work. They've decided it's a waste of money. They have made the decision instead of deciding that, you know what, I get my desires fed and money will always flow to me. So all of your past patternings, your belief systems are affecting how you make decisions and how the growth of your business, how your life is, proceeding and growing and evolving, all come back to that. So the longer you take to make a decision, dig into it. I bet you there's something there. Well, if you enjoyed this podcast episode, let me know. I might say things that make you go, I don't really like her. What is she talking about? But I want you to really sit with it, because that's what I'm teaching you right now. And when you listen to this podcast, it's helping you get into that power state of like, okay, why is this bothering me? And what is here to learn? And why does this make me feel like this? And why do I have this issue? Because the more that you can move through that, let me tell you, your personal powers can go through the roof, and there's nothing that you cannot do, and you become unstoppable. So if you've never taken Accessing the Quantum through Emotional Self-Mastery, my Emotional Mastery course is the course. You should go sign up for it. Go join our Quantum Woman group and check out our swag shop, and go to my bio and click the free training in there. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.